We should add some music. We live? Yes. I noticed that's always the first question I like to ask in my Facebook Live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're going to watch Ask Eric Feng. And this is episode 14, and today's episode, it's going to be focusing on social media. So for those of you who just joined, hello, and remember to say hi. Leave me a comment right now. I'll be very curious to know which country you're from. So say hi and let me know, are you from Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia? And we're going to wait for the rest of them to come in just in a few seconds. Meanwhile, I'm going to play you some nice music. And if you guys have any song requests, please let me know as well. And Philip, can you... hi Dylan. Hi Valent. Hi Suili. So let us know as well where you guys are from. And oh wait, yes, a very important thing, guys. Big favor, don't just say hi, but remember to also click the share button so that this video will get to reach out to as many people as possible. You know, every time we finish doing a high value content video like this, I get a lot of thank yous from you guys, but let me just say that the best way to thank me is not to thank me. The best way to thank me is to click share, because every speaker wants their word to get out to as many people around the world. So if you really want to acknowledge what I've done for you guys, which I appreciate, could you please help me hit the share button, okay? Thank you very much. Do you need to hit it many times? Well, just one time. I know you love me very much, but just one time will do, okay? And yes, please let me know where you're from. Hi, Benedict Aquino from Philippines. Hi, oh my God, I think I need glasses. Hi, Dang An from Vietnam. Hi, Tong Tran from Vietnam. I hope you guys understand English. And Mary Ann Menalek Manalo, hi from Philippines. Austin as well from Philippines. Very happy to see you guys. And well, we're going to wait for Jean Grobler, Healthy Aging Campus, Netherlands. We have someone from Netherlands today. Hello, from Malaysia, Nazatu, from Lian Fei, hello, from Singapore. See, I was so busy saying hi to you guys, I forgot about the music. All right, have some little nice jazz music. For those of you who are here with me in Singapore, it is 8:03 p.m. and depending on which country you guys are at, we're probably in the night zone. Except for our friends in Eastern Europe, I think this is still morning for you, if I'm not wrong. Well, no, afternoon for you guys. Right, so we're going to be starting really soon. Muzzy Austin, you're from Zambia. Hi! Wow, Zambia, that's very far away. Africa. Hi, Eugene. Hi, Marika. And so guys, for those of you who just joined me, welcome to Ask Eric Feng episode 14. And in today's episode, I'll be answering questions relating to social media. Any questions on it? At this point of time, I have a total of 41 questions that has been posed to me since Thursday. There's absolutely no way that I can answer everything. So there will be a part 2, a part 3 maybe. But because you guys came online as a live audience, you will have priority, okay? So please leave me a question at this point of time right now while we're waiting for everybody to come online. Should you have a question on social media branding, it could be about followers growth, it could be about content creation and curation, it could be about the basic things like deciding on which platform to be on, finding your voice, your angle, your positioning, any question whatsoever on social media, please leave them down on your comment section right now. And if you see any question that you would love me to answer by your friend, please just click the like button, right? The more likes, the more I'll notice it, which means that I know that this is the question. Someone say, please say my name. Aswan. Are you challenging me with your last name? That's a little bit difficult to pronounce. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Is Zeg a silent Zeg? Wong Lu, hi, from Singapore. Peter from Sarawak. Irene, hello. And Angel from Hong Kong. Ciao, must be from Vietnam. Hi, April from Philippines. Good evening. So we're gonna get started right now. I hope you guys can hear me very clearly. Do you have a microphone somewhere? Where's the microphone? Right in front of me? Oh, I have a mic on, so I don't really need to shout. Okay, great. Hi, Valent. All right, so Valent has a question. With so many platforms to digital social media market, What is your recommended workflow among and between these platforms? Oh, I can't see the question. Okay. How do I scroll up and down, Philip? How do I make sure I don't miss the question? Is it this one? Huh?
Yeah, your mouse should.
I want to see this question. How do I?
Can't see it.
Yeah. How do I scroll it up so that I can see the question? Oh, see, I lost the question already.
Yeah, then you have to look at your phone already.
Huh? How come I cannot use this?
No, because over here it's only listed as selected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Valen, I'm sorry. I saw your question and I will answer this question right now. So again, those of you who just came in, thank you, Christine. Those of you who just came in, welcome. And I'm about to go live with you guys. And could you please leave me your questions? Let me know what questions you have. And please, if you like me doing this and you want to do more of this Ask Eric Feng Live, please hit the share button so that many people get to see this video right now, okay? I'm going to be doing just one last thing before we get started officially. I am going to remind my followers on Instagram that we are starting. All right, so let's see. Guys on Instagram, we are going to be starting right now, so please come join me. Ask. One of the things about doing Facebook Live is that you really need to multitask happening right now. Swipe up. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Those of you who just came in, please remember to say hello and let me know if you have a question that you'd like to ask me. I'm right now just doing a little administration, making sure that everybody on Instagram gets to join us as well. Okay, all right, I'm almost done. Okay, now, so I'm going to look at your questions. If you guys have any questions to ask me, please leave them on the live chat. And some people ask me, right, Eric, would you be able to answer all questions? The answer is no. That's why we're going to do this live session almost as much as I can. I'll do it every month. And right now, I would definitely give priority to people who ask questions on the live channel because, I appreciate that you come on live with me. So let me ask the first question. Philip, you really need to help me because I can't see any questions that was shared just now. So Valen, I'm extremely sorry, but if possible, could you please repeat your question? I'm actually having a little bit of difficulty trying to scroll, and I can't use this as well, right, Philip?
No. On this side, they only show you the first few questions.
Okay. How am I gonna see? I'm gonna see all comments. So guys, give me a second. I am right now. I can't see it on my live channel though. Let's see. So guys, please leave me your questions. Bram, I saw your question. Jenna is asking, Eric, are you married? Is that a social media question? Okay, so I am looking at your questions right now. I remembered seeing Valen asking a question. I would love, unfortunately, I can't see Valen. Valen, I'm so sorry. Can you please, good, okay. So with so many platforms to digital or social media market, what is your recommended workflow among and between this platform, assuming the business is more towards consumer than other business? So what do you do? Okay, I'll pin the comment so I can see it right now. So Valen, I'm going to start with your question. Number one, you need to first decide which platform you want to dominate, right? And there's no way you can dominate all platforms at the same time. It's like trying to chase 5 rabbits at the same time. You end up missing all the rabbits. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, who are the followers that you're trying to capture attention from, right? Because social media is a wonderful platform for you to capture attention. in order to get your followers. Once your followers start spending a lot of time with you, this is when you have an opportunity to ask them to opt in into your mailing list or to attend a free event or just a hangout with you. This is where they advance to become part of your community, and your community not only pay attention to you, but they also spend time with you. And these people who pay attention with you and they spend time with you, something gets built in the process, which is trust. And it's the trust that you build which is able to convert into a sale if you're selling a service or a product. So that's the process, right? So please understand that social media is not a selling platform. Social media is a trust building platform. And for you to build trust, you need to get them to pay attention to you and to spend time with you. And in time to come, trust gets built. So you need to understand the fundamental distinction of social media. That's one. Number two, then you need to ask yourself, where are your followers? Where are your followers most active on? Are they active on Instagram? Are they active on Facebook? Are they active on LinkedIn? Are they active on Facebook? So out of all this platform, pick one where most of your followers are on, and hopefully that's also the platform that you are most comfortable in. Very quickly to explain the different social media platforms as well. Facebook is today, present day's talk show where where people live on the newsfeed, right? So the newsfeed. So anything that is trending, anything that is controversial, anything that is entertaining and educational captures attention. And then you have Instagram, which is present day reality show, where it's a lot about you. Anything that's visual in nature tend to do very well on Instagram. So if I understand, most of you are in the service industry. So service is something that you can't really see on Instagram. Therefore, putting yourself out there on Instagram, sharing with people who you are behind the scenes of what you do will be perfect for Instagram. And then LinkedIn is what I call present day symposium, where the bright and the intellectuals start exchanging ideas, thoughts, and opinions. So written word dominates on LinkedIn. And then YouTube is your present day sitcom where long form videos will tend to do very well. So knowing the native language of the four platforms and also knowing where your followers are hanging out allows you to then decide which is your primary social media platform. So from then, if it's Facebook, then you build your following on Facebook, create content on Facebook, respect the native language on Facebook, and then establish yourself on Facebook first. The danger is that people start going on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram all at the same time. If you look at myself, I was on Facebook very, very early in the game. I was in Facebook probably active on Facebook by 2010. Now, 2010 is also the year where Instagram was actually being introduced. However, I was only on Instagram in 2016. That was 2 years ago, right? No, 3 years ago. So I was on Facebook most of the time, and I spent 6 years building my authority on Facebook before I even venture out onto Instagram. Now, but the beauty is this. After spending 2 years on Instagram, I've built quite a following on Instagram, and therefore 2 years later, this year, I'm actually going to start working on my YouTube channel. So 6 years, 2 years, 1 year. Before I jump, 6 years on Facebook, and then I go on Instagram, and then now 2 years on Instagram, I go on YouTube. But it was a measure of time. So therefore, at this point in time, most of you, if you're new to social media, pick one platform, dominate that platform. Please do not get greedy, or please do not have the FOMO, fear of missing out, and you start to want to jump to different platforms. Unless you have a big team that can support you in repurposing the content, do not go to multiple platforms. Another thing I get asked a lot is, can I post on Facebook and then share on Instagram, or maybe post on Instagram and then share on Facebook? Now, it seems convenient to do that, but you're not respecting the native language of the platform. People on Instagram tend to, look at pictures really, really quickly. So anything that's very long form captions will not work on Instagram. So by you sharing things on Facebook and Instagram, will actually be substandard. And if you're posting something on Instagram that looks pretty on Facebook, it may not capture attention on Facebook because anything that's not trending, controversial, or entertaining will not be picked up on Facebook. Can you see that? So just because you are combining content onto multiple platforms, it feels like you're on every platform, but you're actually doing everything, substandard. So my answer to you would be to focus on one platform and to build a sizable following. In your case, the best way to measure your success on a social media platform is not just the number of followers you have. So here's my rule of thumb. Every 100 followers that follow you on social media, you have to convert 20 of them to be in your database. There must be a lead capturing mechanism. You can capture their emails, you can capture their contact numbers, you can meet them in person, but there must be a lead capturing mechanism to convert the 100 followers who are paying attention to you to 20 community members who are willing to spend time with you. These 20 community members are what we call your potential prospects, which can lead to your 4 sales. So I'm actually using like a 20%, right? 20 divided by 5 is 4. So 124. Once you're able to create 100 followers, 40 divided by 5, 20 community members, right? And then from 20, you get your 4 sales. Once you're able to capture that, I would say that you are successful on that social media platform. Then you can consider to amplify the 124, or you can consider repeating the 124 on a different platform like Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn. But the learning curve is going to be steep because every social media platform is different, so you need to learn it. Okay? So I hope that answers Vaylen's question. So in my case, Vaylen, assuming that you have a huge team supporting you, okay, what I usually do is I pick one platform to be my dominant platform, which is Facebook. So most of my content at this point in time are designed for Facebook. Every Tuesday, I will have a 3 to 5 minute video, which is usually driven by a question asked by you, and then I will answer that question, right? So that video is being blasted onto my Facebook account. And then I use Instagram as a promotional platform to announce to people through an Instagram story that, hey, I've just posted something on Facebook, go check it out, swipe up, and then it leads the traffic into Facebook. So usually that's how I do it. Facebook is where I publish my main content. Instagram story is my promotional platform. Now in future, when I have my YouTube channel, YouTube will be where my long form content exists. I will cut my YouTube content into multiple pieces, and then, now by the way, in case you're wondering, how do I do that? So if I have a 40-minute YouTube video, right? YouTube does very well for long form content. And then from that 40-minute, I will cut a 2 to 3 minute video and I share it on Facebook. I will also cut a 1-minute video and share it on Instagram feed. But I'll still use Instagram story to promote all the platforms, right? So I'll launch these videos at different times of the week. And then on my YouTube channel, I will ask my followers, as you watch my video, which part strikes you, which part resonates with you, which part do you enjoy the best? Could you please leave me your timestamp? And then based on the timestamp, I'll look at all the timestamp and I'll look at which is the one that keep repeating. And if I notice that it's a common timestamp, I know that that segment of the video is very important to you guys. Then what I'll do is I would then take that segment out and then I will cut it into a Facebook video and I'll post it on my Facebook again. So this is basically my content repurposing strategy. What's also very important to know is if you want to repurpose your content on multiple platforms, you need to first understand what are your pillar content. Pillar content means the source of your content. Most of my content creation happens in Facebook Live. So Facebook Live is one of my pillar content where I create 60-minute worth of content. Another place where I create a lot of my pillar content is during my keynotes, where I do my 45-minute speech to 3-hour speech. So based on that 2 big pillar content, I would then cut the best parts of the 3 to 5 minutes on Facebook, and I will cut maybe 40 minutes or maybe even show the whole thing onto my YouTube channel. And like I said before, when I ask you for feedback, I will ask you what part of the video resonates with you. I will study the timestamp because I will ask you for the timestamp, and then based on the common timestamp, I will then extract more 3 to 5 minutes video from YouTube. I'll put it on Facebook. And then Instagram story will always be the platform for me to do my shout outs because people tend to be very fast in Instagram. So you need to do like short 30 seconds or 15-second advertisements. Like, hey guys, I just launched a new video. This is why you need to watch it. Swipe out right now. So anybody who probably at that moment in that 24 hours are ready and free, they will swipe out and you direct your Instagram traffic over to your Facebook or to your YouTube. But for me to nurture my Instagram following, I cannot use educational content as a way to nurture them, because people don't stay on Instagram long. They don't stay on a feed very long, right? They're very impatient on Instagram. So a lot of my followers are built on Instagram through my behind the scenes of what happens, as a speaker. What is it like to be a traveling speaker? How did Eric spend his time? So that was my Instagram story. That's how I draw my followers. Plus, I have a lot of high energy, motivational content, inspirational visual content on the feed that attracts attention, and everything is captured within that picture, and that's how I grow my followers. So you see, this is an example of respecting the native language of Instagram to nurture your followers, and these followers have the potential to also start watching 3 to 5 minutes, to start investing more time to watch the 3 to 5 minute videos, or to invest even more time in future to watch my 40 to 60 minute video, right? And you guys might ask me then, Eric, so how do you nurture your Facebook audience? How do you get all your traffic from? Most of my traffic, I was very lucky to get the traffic mainly from my workshops and my keynotes. So every time I go on stage, I have the luxury of speaking to thousands of people, and I will ask them, to follow me. But maybe years ago, before I do that, it was a lot about organic traffic. So I'll talk about how I get free traffic in a short while. I'll answer that question. That was one of the most popular questions I get last week. I'll answer that. All right. So basically, this is how I do it. And people who follow me on Facebook or people who follow me on YouTube in future, I will message them and I'll tell them, hey, do you have an Instagram account? If you do have an Instagram account, come follow me on Instagram as well. So basically, it's cross promo platform. And this is how I seem like I'm everywhere, but there is a certain purpose, and it started on Facebook. Right? And I think the most important thing is I'm just sharing you the tactics, but at a core of, at the end of the day, the key distinction to remember is the size of your community doesn't matter as much as your depth of your connection with your followers. So every platform that I'm on, the consistent intent for me is to serve, is to help, is to relate. And as long as you do that, you will be successful in every single platform in time to come. So Valen, that's a very long answer to a very short but detailed question. And I hope the answer to this question has given you some insights into how I do cross-platform content management. Now for you guys, my suggestion is pick one platform, dominate that platform before you even try to do multi-platforms, okay? And how do you become successful in the platform? I've already given you the number, 100 followers, and lead to 20%, which is divided by 5, 100 divided by 5, which is 20 people that subscribe to your mailing list. And then from that 20, you nurture them to get at least 4 sales. Once you hit that 124 ratio, that's when you can consider moving to the next platform. So if you guys follow me so far, give me a thumbs up. If you're with me and you can understand what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up, okay? To make sure that you understand. Otherwise, I'll be more than happy to elaborate further. Okay, we're gonna take a 5-second break. Okay, so here's another question by Ronald Arcon. Hello, Sir Eric. You're very polite. From Manila, Philippines. I would like to ask on how to make a branding in social media. Do's and don'ts in posting, especially for Facebook. So here's how I define branding, right? Branding is all about creating what I call the KLR effect. In other words, known, loved, respected. So how do I know that you have successfully built your brand on social media or any platform for that matter? Number one, when I ask your potential customers about you, right? Have you heard of this person? Do they know you? That's the first one, right? You must pass that first test. And then after that, I will ask them, so tell me more about this person. Do you like the person? right? Do they like you? Do they have positive things to say about you? Or they are neutral about you, they don't really have much to say about you, they don't feel anything for you, or worse, they actually feel negative towards you. That's the second column. Do they like you? And then the last question I will ask them is, do they respect you for your expertise? Because don't forget, we are not celebrities. We are not your social media influencers that get sponsorship. This is not where I'm guiding you guys towards. I'm guiding you guys towards sales appointments. In other words, the only way you're going to get a sale is when people meet up with you to get your advice. You could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a tax consultant, you could be an insurance agent, you could be a property agent. You make your commissions from having a person meet you for a one-to-one consult. Or perhaps for some of you, you earn your money when people attend your workshops, right? So this is how you make your money. But how do I know that people respect you? It's when people are willing to spend time engaging with your content, they're willing to listen to your advice, they're willing to meet up with you. So I measure the knowing based on the number of followers you have. So in a social media context, I measure know by the number of followers you have. I measure like by the number of engagement you get, the likes, comments, and shares, and also the number of list, how big your list is, the number of people that subscribe to your broadcast list or your mailing list. And then respect. Do people actually pay money to meet you? Do people spend money to meet you? Do people pay money to engage in your services? Because at the end of the day, I might like you, but if I don't buy from you, it means I don't respect your knowledge yet. So that's how I assess whether you've built a personal brand. Whether are you known, are you loved, and are you respected? Now, then part two of the question would be, how do I know what to do or what not to do on social media? Now, for that one, I actually have a video that I've created called the do's and don'ts. So Philip, could you do me a favor? Go search for that video that I recently did. You did for me, the samurai one, social media do's and don'ts. Could you help me post it in the comment section of today's post and pin it? So I actually did a very detailed 7-minute video on social media do's and don'ts. Please go check it out, okay? After this entire Facebook Live video. All right, so let's take a look. Let's ask another question. Janet asked a question. Eric, which are the high ratio for engagement? Send messenger, sign up, or get leads? What do you mean by that? Send messenger. I think you're trying to ask me like, which one is more effective, right? I don't really understand what you mean by sign up and get leads. But what I do know is that my messenger, when we talk about messenger, the app that I use or the service that I use is actually a chat app which is called ManyChat. Many as in M-A-N-Y, chat as in C-H-A-T. So I use ManyChat as a way to build my broadcast list. It's not very difficult to do it. If you go to ManyChat right now and you hit the top right button, there is a video that you can watch that teach you how to convert people that look at your Facebook posts. How do you convert them into a broadcast list? Now, obviously, if you're part of my KLR community, shout out to you guys. To explain a little bit further, the KLR community are people that took an extra step with me and they have opted into my community group. And these are the people that have access to me and they have access to a lot of my content which doesn't go out to the public. So those of you who are actually from the KLR community, all you need to do is just go to your membership site and look under bonus content, look under the part that says how to build your followers using ManyChat. The specific details are there, okay? The rest of you, you're probably wondering, Eric, how do I end up in your inner circle? How do I end up doing that? Again, right after this, at the end of this entire video, in fact, let me do it right now. All you need to do is sign up for one of my classes. I always feel that the best way to know if you really are serious about learning is if you're willing to commit to a program. And this is a free program, but it's 2 hours of your time. So this is how I know whether you're serious about learning. Because everybody always says, Eric, can I be your mentee? And my answer is, sure. Go check out my 2-hour training first. Because if you're not willing to even spend 2 hours with me, you would not be ready for my mentoring because there's no shortcuts, there's no magic bullets. So I'm about to send you the link to get access to a 2-hour free program where you can get a sense of what is it like to be part of my inner circle. Okay, so I'm gonna put it down here. It's knownloverespected.com/online live class-EV. I am going to pin this comment so that you guys can join me and perhaps be part of my inner circle. Okay, so that's a question. Okay, now next one. Let me answer a question by Cherry. Hi, Sir Eric. Oh, you guys really should stop calling me Sir. You make me feel old. But I know you're trying to do that out of respect, so I appreciate it, Cherry. From Baguio. Oh, is that a city in Philippines? How do I meet up or make appointment with a client without feeling that I would sell them an insurance at once through social media? That's a very good question. You know, a lot of us, we are very afraid to look salesy in front of a client. It's like every post I post to you, I have something to sell. Now, first of all, Cherry, you need to change your mindset. You need to stop using the word sell. That's the first thing, all right? You need to start seeing yourself as a problem solver. Like even myself, right? Would you say that earlier on when you guys are asking me, Eric, I would love to be part of your community, and I tell you, I say that you want to be part of my community, you need to go sign up for this 2-hour free class. At some level, you can say that that's selling because there's something that I'm introducing you, right? But there was a very clear value proposition, which is you get access to me directly, you get into be my inner circle, you get access to content that doesn't go out in the public. And I've just demonstrated to you that one of the content is how do you use ManyChat, which is a messenger service, to build your followers. So I'm offering a solution that is of value to you. And if you are interested, take the next step with me, come online, or in your case, take the next step with me, meet up with me. So the very first thing you need to get out of your head is you are not a salesman, right? And perhaps you think that you're a salesman because you're really product pushing. No wonder you feel guilty, and you should feel guilty because people are not going to like you if you're just pushing products. So I'd like you to change your mindset into what problems can I help my followers solve? So every time you're pushing out content, your content should either solve a problem, or it should answer a burning question, or it should clear a misconception. It should never be about introducing a product. It should never even be just telling me what insurance is and why we need insurance. Because if you keep harping on why we need insurance, it's going to be boring after a while. And there's a very good reason why this kind of messages don't work, right? Because it's like nagging. Nobody likes a nagger. So level 1 content is what we call content that addresses the big picture. What are some of the key money-related challenges that we face? What are some of the misconceptions about money or finances that we have that you want to clarify? What are some of the top 10 questions that we tend to ask a lot about money? That's level 1 content that you need to get out there. If you don't even have that kind of content, forget about level 2 content. Now, once you clear the level 1 content, then you move on to level 2 content. Level 2 content has a lot to do with who you are. Why do you choose to be a financial advisor? What makes you stand out from other financial advisors? What's your unique approach in helping financial advisors? What are your core values? What are your interests and passions? What makes you upset? What makes you happy? Why do your clients buy from you and not somebody else? Level 2 content has a lot to do with you and your backstory, your personality, and your values. Because don't forget, when you're selling something invisible, people don't just want to buy your knowledge, people also want to buy you as a person. So level 2 content has a lot to do with understanding or knowing who you are. And then it comes level 3 content, which is all about objection handling. List out all the potential objections that you possibly faced, right? Each time you're trying to sell your products or your services, and create content by addressing all these objections. Because every objection essentially is really a sales objective. So perhaps one of the objections that you always get a lot is, I think I already have enough insurance already. So that's a very common objection. What do you have to say about that objection? Do you have an example and a story that can show me that this objection is going to get me in trouble in the next 5 to 10 years' time? So when you are creating content, understand that there are multiple levels of how you can create content. To the core audience, I would say that the best content is to first demonstrate your knowledge, right? So addressing their problems, misconceptions, or questions that they ask will be a very good starting point for you. And then when it comes to warm audience are people who probably have interacted with your content, but it may not know you very well. This is where you start to go a little bit more personal into your backstory, how you do this business, what makes you stand out from other advisors, how do you approach your customers, testimonials. All that will work extremely well for your warm audience. And then the hot audience are audiences that probably even met you for a sales appointment but did not buy from you. This group of people, I would say that the best way to get them to buy is to tackle objections and to answer those hidden conversations that they have about insurance or any service that you sell. And from then, this content will lead them to a yes naturally. So you don't even feel like you are selling. So in other words, to cut short or to summarize what I'm trying to say is the best way to sell is to teach. Let me explain again. The best way to sell is to teach. And I've just given you the entire framework of possible content that you can create that can each help you create sales conversations, because many of them will end up, liking your content or leaving comments or asking more questions, and all this leads to a potential sales appointment. Okay, so I hope Cherry, that answers your question. And for those of you who just came in, hi, it's my I'm just switching on my TV right now. So welcome to Ask Eric Feng episode 14. Today, I have actually 41 over questions that has been collated on social media alone. But I really want to reward people for coming on live. And that's the reason why I'm actually starting with answering your questions. But what's very interesting is, as I was looking at the 41 questions that I've collated, now obviously not all questions are on social media, but generally the questions revolve around these three things. Number one, which platform should I be on? Number two, content creation, which I've just answered you. And number three, how do I increase my followers? How do I increase my engagement? Generally, these are the three types of questions I get asked a lot. So, all right, so if I've answered your question, give me a thumbs up if you understand it. If you have no other questions, give me a thumbs up as well so I can move on to the next question. All right, and those of you who just came in, say hi, let me know which country you're from. But more importantly, hit the share button. It really means a lot to me, right? As a thought leader, as a teacher, what I really love is having my ideas to spread. That's like my biggest kick out of doing this thing. So if I have helped you one way or another through the content that I've just given you, the best way to thank me is to hit the share button. All right, thank you very much. So I'm going to continue by looking at what are some of the new questions you have. Let's see. Hi, Jingle from Philippines. Okay, I'm sorry guys, but I missed your question. The questions kind of jumped. So if possible, could you guys help me by reposting your questions if you really desperately want me to answer your question? Hi, Derek from Malaysia. Now, otherwise, what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to move on to the questions that were asked by you on the last Thursday. Okay, so here's a question by Janet Wu. Eric, my question is, I've yet to be active on Facebook, but I've learned that to find my way was to put up some Facebook ads since last year, July 2018, out of which one of the advertisement, which is a content with funny comic, within 2 days reached 20 likes. 6 of them left their details information, and when come across appointment, none of them turn up. So the problem is, how am I going to improve this situation? Now, I have a lot to say about that. So obviously, there's a bunch of people out there that would tell you to run advertisement, and it's not wrong to say that because Facebook is a advertising platform, right? True. So advertise. So what you do is that when you advertise, people see your post, and then what they do is they will fill in their contact details depending on what do you offer. So if you're going to run an ad, usually, right, for an ad to do well, you need to have a lead magnet, or basically what I call an ethical bribe. You need to give away something. It could be a book that you're giving away. It could be an ebook that you're giving away. It could be food vouchers that you're giving away. Someone just told me recently, I gave away Starbucks vouchers. Now, you can give away all these things and you will get very, very good response because believe it or not, people love free stuff, right? But after collecting the free stuff, they may not necessarily want to meet you because you have already given them what they want. So there are two things I want to say. Number one, if you really, really, really want to run an ad, all right, an advertisement, in order to capture leads, you need to obey a structure I'm about to give you, right? You need to first write down on a piece of paper, right, who you want to target, right? Be as specific as possible. Facebook allows you to not just target demographics, which is their age, which is their sex, which is their religion and age. Did I just say age? I think I did say that, right? So not just that, but Facebook also allows you to target psychographics, which is their behaviors, their passion, their interest. So you want to make sure that you're very clear about your market, the followers that you want to attract. KLR community, the language that I spoke to you so far, has been affinity market. So you need to understand what's the market that has affinity with you. And you write that down on a piece of paper, really big like this, affinity market, and write down what's that group. And then ask yourself, what is a pressing problem that they're facing right now? What is a challenge that this group of people are facing? So perhaps, let's say, I'll give you off the top of my head, I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to target couples who are about to get married, right? It's not too difficult to find them these days. So I want to find couples that are planning to get married probably in the next 1 year. So I run an advertisement, right? But I need to ask myself, what is a problem, a real pressing problem that these young couples have? Okay, it could be related to your area of expertise, but it doesn't always need to be. So say for example, if you are a financial advisor, so I would say that a very nice giveaway is maybe a live workshop, right? Where you teach them how to have a Disney-like wedding with a Cinderella budget, right? How do you have a Disney-like wedding with a Cinderella budget? Now, obviously, you need to do your survey. You can go and talk to this target market. Some of them are your friends, some of them are your existing customers, some of them are your prospect. Ask them, what are the top 3 pressing problems that is in your mind right now when it comes to this wedding of yours? Or what is it, right? What are the top 3? These are the top 3 hooks that you can consider in your advertisement because this is what they're thinking about all the time. Advertising is all about capturing their attention in that moment and hooking them to read your copy. So let's say you know that their problem is having a Disney wedding, but they do not have that kind of budget. Then you ask yourself, do I want to deliver that solution, which is the solution to that problem, in a form of a workshop? Do I want to deliver in the form of an ebook? Do I want to deliver in the form of a phone call? Doesn't matter, right? But you decide the form that you want to deliver that solution. So you have a problem, which is, I want to have a Disney wedding, but I only have a Cinderella budget. And I'm going to deliver that solution maybe in the form of a report that teaches them maybe 10 hacks or 15 or 20 hacks on how to have a Disney-like wedding, with a Cinderella budget. This is where you can do your research. You can Google, you can read books, you can collate, but make sure you credit them. And then you cannot end there because just by me giving you a contact number, all right, I will get the book and that's it. Even if you call me, I'm not going to reply because you already fed me. There's no point feeding a person that's already full, right? No point. So once before I receive the ebook, you need to have a thank you page, right? So lead to a thank you page, but in that thank you page, you don't just thank them because, it's silly to tell them that, hey, the ebook that you just mentioned is going to be in your inbox in a short while. Don't do that, right? Capture their contact details, bring them immediately into a thank you page, and this is where you introduce a bigger problem immediately, right? So because every problem needs to be solved. And that tension of not solving that problem is what creates a sales opportunity, right? Nobody appreciates your solution unless they're convinced that they have a problem. So you need to sell problems in your ads to get them to click on your ad, to key in the details. But if you want to sell an appointment later on, you need to introduce a bigger problem immediately in that whole process. So immediately when they go to a thank you page, hold them there and tell them, hey, thank you for downloading this. I know you care about your wedding, but I just want you to know that wedding is only 1 day. right? And if you're going to spend all your energy on just one day, it's a little bit silly, right? You should also start spending time thinking about your marriage, which is a lifetime. And there are 5 big issues that you're going to encounter in the first 1 year of your marriage that's going to get you in trouble, with your husband or your wife. Right? So if you want to solve this problem, and this problem is serious enough for you, right? And you can even introduce testimonials of how you solve those problems to add some credibility. Leave me your contact number right now. We're gonna set up a consult call, and I'll meet you to share with you what those 5 things are. On top of that, I will also personally give you a printed copy of the book that you have requested. So all of a sudden, I realized that meeting you has more value than just downloading your ebook. Because not only do I get a better version of your ebook, but I also get introduced to a bigger problem that I'm actually legit wants to solve. And therefore, I meet you. And during the meeting is where you do what you do best. So remember, if you ever want to run an ad again, right, please remember to follow the structure I've just introduced you. Problem, and then the solution is the lead magnet or the ethical bribe. And then once you create that, remember you have a thank you page. And then in that thank you page, introduce a bigger problem, sell the problem, sell that you're able to solve the problem, but don't reveal the solution. And then tell them to meet you so that they can get a solution. When you do that, you're going to have a much higher chance of people meeting you. But there is a big but now. All right, so having said that, your ads are really going to do much better than your existing ads. But having said that, if the person reading your advertisement doesn't know you, doesn't love you, doesn't respect you yet, it's still not going to work. Imagine this is the very first time that they are seeing you. They may not even be clicking on your advertisement. This is why building your following. Now, what I've just shared with you is building a funnel. A funnel is basically a digital sales process. They see your advertisement, they wanted to download your ethical bribe, and you lead them to a sales appointment. Direct sales, I get it. That's a funnel. It's an inverted triangle. But a funnel is not powerful or not effective if you do not have a following. A following is a circle. A following is all about building relationships on social media. A funnel, it's about selling and advertising on social media. But you can't sell to people who do not know you, like you, and respect you. Therefore, you still need to have a following. That's why I always believe that a better starting point is not to introduce the funnel, even if you have money. A better starting point is to get clarity of your followers, get clarity of your positioning, what topic you want to blog about, what topic you want to put out there, and then you start posting the content based on what I just shared with you. Phase 1 content, which is content that demonstrates your expertise. Phase 2 content, or part 2 content, which is content that introduces who you are, your values, and what makes you stand out. Phase 3 content are handling sales objection content. Every one of this piece of content would already get you sales through the likes and the comments. Because every like and comment that you get, potentially you can send them a message, and it's a chance only, but it's still a chance to get a sales appointment. Now, once you created a lot of good enough content, right, my recommendation is to run advertisements on the content instead. In other words, if you create content and you saw that, hey, my followers like it, my existing followers love it, my my customers love it because I sent it to them, then I'd rather you take the advertisement money and boost this post to let more people see it so that you can build your credentials. And then, my rule of thumb is the probability of closing a sale goes up to 80% at the 4th to the 6th interaction. In other words, if I meet you at the 4th time, the 5th time, or the 6th time, the chances of me wanting to buy something from you goes as high as 80%. Which means that before you run a funnel ad, you need to make sure that the person has already interacted with you at least 3 times before they see your ad. Does it make sense? So I rather, if you really want to spend money on Facebook, I rather you run advertisements on your content, and then after that, when you run your advertisement, you target people who have already seen your content. There is a function in your ad manager, where you can choose who to see your advertisements. I rather you run your advertisements to people who have already seen your content than to a cold audience, which you have a very low chance of getting success. So even if I teach you the structure that I just teach you, it becomes a lot more powerful if you're running ads to people who know you, like you, and respect you. Therefore, it's so important to first build a following, then introduce the funnel. Do not put the cart ahead of the horse, guys. Otherwise, you will not succeed. All right, so that's a very long answer to a very long question, but I hope this was useful to you. If what I just shared makes sense to you, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if this makes sense. Leave me a comment. Let me know your remarks. I'm getting a bit worried though, because it's 8:50 and I've 10 more minutes to go, but I have another 40 questions that I probably have not really answered in detail, and I got a lot more questions right now on the live chat. So let's deal with the live chat, okay? Okay, let's talk to Angel. Angel, Eric, my question is how to get my fans to meet me. Oops. How to get my fans to meet me. I have fans who followed me over 6 months and even left me WhatsApp number. Should I invite them to seminar one or several times? Angel, could you quickly answer my question? Are you on Facebook or are you on Instagram? Because that kind of changed the strategy a bit. So my rule of thumb is that every month, okay, once you become very active on Facebook and Instagram, you should be posting. If you're on Instagram, you should be posting, at least once a day. If you're on Facebook, you should be posting at least one a day, right? Actually, that's the rule of thumb, okay? To honor the algorithm god of the social media platform. And then what you do is, step one engagement is to always thank the people who like your content. So every one of them who like your content, send them a message and say, hey, thank you so much for liking this content. Ask them questions. Ask them, what is it about this content that you like? That's step number one of interaction. And then the next step of interaction is look at the people who comment on your content and reply to their comments. Right? This is called level 1 interaction. It's still online interaction, but it's important because no one's ever going to meet you unless they've been interacting with you a lot online. Many of you guys, right, I would be more than happy to invite you for drinks. In fact, this Friday, special shout out, if you guys are gin lovers and you are in Singapore, I've actually invited my people online, on Instagram and Facebook, and come join me for drinks. And it's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. this Friday. Now, but the people who would dare to come and meet me will probably be people who have already replied to them online before. People who have never met me before, who have never interacted with me, probably they might find it a bit scary to meet me. So the same thing for you. Level 1 interaction is where you reply to their comments, you thank them for liking you, and you ask them for feedback, more feedback, right? So that's number 1. And having said that, you never know how many times they interact with you, right? So every month, make it a point to organize something fun, all right? There are only 3 types of events that you should be organizing. You should either be organizing a learning event, organizing a social event, organizing a fun event. Now, at the beginning, not everybody is going to come, which is okay, which means that you still need to use your offline to fill up the event, right? So it could be you enjoy sports, right? So maybe you organize a badminton game and you invite some of your customers to come with you and get your customers to also invite their friends. So you already have people coming for the badminton game, right? Don't fully rely on your online followers to come because they might fly aeroplane, right? Fly aeroplane means they say they're going to come, but they didn't come. But you still want to make it an effort that every month you're organizing a learning event, social event, or fun event to encourage your followers to take the next step with you. Because whichever follower that actually take the next step with you to meet you, they are no longer just a follower, they are part of your community already. Remember, I told you the process. Followers pay attention to you online, community spend time with you online and offline, and then your fans are people that spend money with you, right? So this group of people, you never know when they're ready, right? Sales appointment. If there's no opportunity, that's okay because they're already part of your community, right? So that's my strategy. And I encourage you, Angel. Yeah, Angel, you're on Facebook, so I encourage you to do the same thing. So on Facebook, you can even organize events on Facebook and then get them to RSVP because that allows them to share your event with their friends. And remember, Angel, after you do the event, like this Friday, I'm going to do a gin event, right? You make sure you take a lot of pictures, take a lot of videos, and then post them on Facebook so that we know that the event is legit and we also know that they're real people coming and the people look very nice and ordinary and they don't look like they're weird people, which will encourage them to then come for your second event that you do. So that's how you do it, okay? So I'm pretty sure you will love this advice because it works extremely well with me. My followers are super loyal to me. How do I know they're loyal? Not only do they sign up for stuff that I created, but more importantly, every time when a company runs events, they will always put my name forward. And that's how I know it. Because I will always ask the client, the corporate client, like, why do you engage me? They say, well, because your followers and your fans, they love you and they want you back, right? So thank you very much if you're one of them. And that's how you do it. And the reason is because I spend a lot of time with my fans and my followers every single day, either through Facebook live sessions like this, or through DMs, direct messaging, or through social, learning, or fun events that I organize so that I can get to know you guys better. So I'd like you to do the same thing as well. Okay, Angel? Remember, familiarity effect. The more times they interact with you, the higher the chance that they will like you and trust you. And when they like you and trust you, that's when they are open to your influence. That's how you convert your online followers into offline sales. So, yes, Andy, I will encourage you to go organize your event, and please let me know how the event go. I'll give you more tips once you start running the events, okay? Janet, no, you're most welcome for asking that question. And let's see. All right, we have 4 more minutes and not much time left. Let me see if I have another question. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to go back to my 41 questions. And okay. Let's see. Because some of the questions that are being asked are sales questions or non-social media questions. So I'm going to keep that to another time, okay, to answer that question. Okay, Robert Chitty, right? Robert Chitty asked this question. Eric, is it better to brand yourself after a brand like a franchise or build your own unique brand? Actually, I'm a little bit unfamiliar. I'm not too sure what you meant by that question, but let's just say this, okay? One of the questions I get asked a lot is, should I brand my agency rather than myself? And my answer to you is people follow people more than an agency or an entity. Unless your entity is super well known, then you might want to then put up an entity page. Otherwise, for all of you guys here, you're selling something intangible. You're selling a service. People buy people first. Before they buy your ideas or your services, they buy you first. Only if they know you, like you, and respect you, will then be open to your influence. Therefore, I highly recommend you to build your own personal branding page. Right? You could choose Facebook, you could choose Instagram. Watch the very first question I just answered to know which social media platform you should be on, okay? And then number 2, you need to start posting your content, and your content is what gives you the credibility. And your social events and your learning events and your fun events are what gets you the likability because they get to interact with you. And it's these 2 combined together where you get your influence. Right? So that's how you build your personal brand. And if you track back to about 3 to 4 questions before, I even gave you the metrics of how to measure your personal brand. It's by the KLR effect. Okay, so go watch the video as well to go check out what I've mentioned, and you will know exactly how to measure your success. And remember the number 100, 20, and 4. Okay. Glex asked a question. How many times do you fail in life? Many, many times. And I would love to one day dedicate a Facebook session on just talking about failures. All right, that'll be very fun. Okay. Let's ask this question by Martin. Martin is from Hungary. Hello. All right, see ya. And Martin's question is about how to promote my new website, which is based on creating websites for anyone in any kind of business. So let me understand. Martin essentially is a website designer. So you help people design websites, okay? How can I gain followers and audience anywhere in the world, even if I'm not popular? All right, how do I gain followers? And then later on, how should I price my work? Because I'm just using templates. Now, Martin, I'm not very familiar with the website design business, so I probably cannot teach you about how you priced it. You probably need to ask somebody else. But here's what I want to ask you first. If you want to build a following, okay, number 1 question you need to ask yourself is, who do you want to engage in your services? Right? Could it be business owners? Could it be entrepreneurs? Could it be insurance agents? Who? Could it be trainers, doctors, or lawyers? Okay? Once you decide that, then the next step is, all right, you want to decide, do you want your entire Facebook page content to be about website design? Right? Do you want it to be that? So there are two ways you can consider building your brand on social media. You can either build your personal page or you can build a community page. Right? So there are two approaches. Personal page is where you shine attention on yourself and you pick a topic that you're extremely passionate about. And I assume that if you're doing website design, it means that you're extremely passionate about website design. So therefore, your entire page could be about website design, strategies, tips, questions, misconceptions, and frustrations, and it's for that specific target audience, right? Then everything that you do will be as per how I've been teaching you earlier on. Or you can decide that, hey, you know what, Eric, I want to build a community of trainers, speakers, authors who have a problem, with, let's say, marketing. And you build a marketing community where you don't just teach them about website design, which is very skewed. Instead, you decided that the problem you want to help them solve is marketing, right? Many of them do not know how to market their services. Therefore, you start to bring other thought leaders, other experts. Could be because these business owners have problem with digital marketing. They have problem with networking. They have problem doing public speaking. So you start to be the curator that brings all these experts in to add value to this community. And then, obviously, people will be very thankful for you because you are the one that share all this information and people with them, and they will start paying attention to you, and that's when people will engage your website design services, part of marketing, as a result of thanking you for helping them. So they really do approach on building your brand. It could be a personal page, it could be a community. How do you decide? Very simple. If you don't mind the attention on yourself and you want to communicate, you want to be seen as an authority in a certain topic, please set up a personal Facebook page and direct traffic on yourself, okay? That means be a public figure, set up a public figure page. But if you do not want the attention on yourself but you have a lot of passion for that certain group of people, that means you are very passionate about that group of people, you want to serve them, right? Then setting up a community will be a lot better for you because it allows you to then be the bridge, be the connector, introducing a lot of other people to them, introducing a lot of pieces of knowledge to them, right? But if you're passionate about your subject alone, setting up a public figure page would be a lot more relevant for you, okay? So that's all the time I have for you guys. Is there any one of you here who, desperately need my attention right now and you desperately need me to answer your question? I'm going to give you some time right now and you're going to see, maybe if the question is answerable in a minute, I'll do it. Okay. Okay. Well, if I actually seen one question, time. Let's talk about time. So Marlo from Philippines asked a question. My question is, what time is considered prime time in social media? That's a very difficult question because it depends on which country you are in, right? So one of the things I really love about Facebook and also Instagram, Facebook in particular, is when you set up a Facebook page, you have this button called Insights, and the Insights are able to give you data analytics on what time your followers come online. Like for me, my followers come online at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. These are the three prime time for you guys on weekdays. That's the reason why I'm doing Facebook Live at this prime time. So Marlo, at the beginning, what you could do is you could actually talk, because at the start, you're probably not going to have 1,000 followers. You probably only get 50 followers, 100 followers on your social media platform. And many of them are made out of your existing customers. Ask them what time do they usually come on social media. Because I can give you the standard timings, which I could, and I'm about to share that post in a couple of weeks' time. But the truth of the matter is that it really depends on your customers. So my advice to you is ask them what time did they generally come online, and this is where you post at the beginning, okay? Now, obviously, there are standard times that you could consider. I just done this research 2 days ago, and this source, right? Essentially, they've done a lot of research on what time is the best time to come online. So I'm going to just use their research. So for Instagram, the recommended post per day is 1 to 2 posts a day. Okay, so that's the recommendation. The best time to post is actually 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And the next best time to post is actually 2 a.m., which is quite crazy for me. So I say that you have to take this with a pinch of salt. They have done extensive research about it. So they've studied different things, they've tested. And that's the conclusion. But I'll say that having said that, it's best for you to test it out for yourself. And then for LinkedIn, the best recommended post is 1 post per day and to post it at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. For Facebook, also 1 post a day. Recommended time to post is 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You see, so this 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. might have worked for many people, but it doesn't work for me. So I always feel that the best people to ask is your followers, the exact people that you're trying to capture attention from. Ask them what time do they usually come online, pick a common time, and then that's when you post. Another tip for you is actually, if you do not know what time to post more often. That's the reason why I know of some people that post 3 times a day. And I ask them, why do you post 3 times a day? He says because people who come online, right, they come at different timings in the day. So if I come at night, right, but you post in the morning, then chances are I may not see your post. So therefore you post 3 times a day. That's one possibility. Another way to overcome that problem is to make sure that you have a mechanism, a lead capturing mechanism. I said that before, lead capturing mechanism to collect their contact details. Because everything that you're getting right now is just traffic, right? It's organic traffic. And then and some of you may even pay for paid traffic, right? Where you advertise. Sometimes I may be tagging you, so that's what we call earned traffic. So there are essentially all this traffic, right, that comes to you. But if you do not have a lead capturing mechanism to convert these followers into email addresses, to convert these followers into messengers, to convert these followers into telephone numbers, right, then you do not really have control over your followers. So the beauty is that if you have 100 followers following you and you are able to capture 20 emails from there, then every time you post something, even if you post something at 12 p.m., right, you can always send them a message to tell them to go read it at the time that they want to read it. So you get to control your messaging, right? Obviously, email open rate is about 10 to 30%. Messenger open rate is about 70 to 90%. So a lot of times these days, I don't really worry about what time I post because all I need to do is to make sure that whenever I post something, I have a broadcast mechanism to tell you that I've posted something and you go check it out at the time that you're available. Now, obviously, I know about Facebook algorithm that the first 1 hour, or maybe even lesser these days, right? The first 1 hour is extremely important. If in the first 1 hour you get a lot of likes, a lot of comments, a lot of shares, Facebook will believe that this is a very good post and therefore they will keep your post on people's news feed a lot longer. So one of the things that I do these days is whenever I post something, I will immediately do a broadcast so that I can get a lot of people liking my content within a short amount of time. So this is something you can try as well. But the bottom line is you need a lead mechanism, a lead capturing mechanism to collect all these contacts so that you can control when you want to see your content. And that allows you to, ignore the worry and the stress of figuring out what time to post. Okay, so guys, that's all the time I have for you. George, Austin, I see your questions, and what I'm going to do is I'll do my best, probably tomorrow. I will look at your questions one more time, and if it's easy to answer, I'll answer them directly. If it's not, I promised you in the next Facebook Live session, all right, I might want to do another one in the next 2 weeks, all right? So I'll let you know again. I will revisit your questions and then I would then answer those questions. Okay, so please be patient with me. But I would really want to draw your attention to the link that I've just posted on Facebook right now. It's a pinned post, which is an online live class. If you really want, access to my brains, my ideas, my creativity, my strategies, you want to have that access to me you have questions that you want to ask me, you want to get access to exclusive content, you have to take the next step with me. See guys, this is a lead capturing mechanism. You need to take the next step, by signing up for this live class. This live class happens almost on a daily basis. So even if you cannot make it today, you can always sign up tomorrow. go back to the link tomorrow and then sign up again. So, but the bottom line is go check out the link. If you have never attended my live class, you should, because in that webinar, I would teach you, number one, the entire process of how do you build your influence on social media. Number two, what is a very simple 5-minute content strategy that allows you to get appointments already. And the last step is how do you get your 10,000 followers. So do check it out. I believe that webinar, 2 hours long, would already solve and answer many of your questions relating to social media, okay? So guys, my name is Eric. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 14 of Ask Eric Feng. I promise you, we will be doing a few more episodes purely on social media. Watch my comments, watch my posts, and if you have not liked my page, please like my page so that you will be notified. Otherwise, thank you very much. If you really find today's session extremely useful, please hit the share button. It will mean a great deal to me. Have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon. I'll see you really soon at episode 15 of Ask Eric Feng. See you. Bye.